Oh, ist er nicht ganz so schnell.
Greetings and welcome. Finally, the story of my boat bicycle continues. So back in 2022, I put it together and went on my first drive on the water of a small nearby lake. Well, sure, I didn't sink nor did I get wet, but its overall performance was just poor. A failure to speak of? Well, after that, I stored it on my compound, till my old man took it for a spin himself. He was dreaming about some great boat tour across some large lake. He entered the water and even managed to exit it as well. While doing so, he damaged the paddle propeller though. I even had to pick him up while he was on its way home again, because of the road distance and that crappy rubber wheel for propulsion. I mean, the travel speed was just the lowest from the low. After that day, I abandoned the whole boat idea for good, because of my personal lack of skill, ideas and motivation to do otherwise. Till that year, when I started the big overhaul. Because I finally wanted to reach some place where I once drove with a bicycle to, when everything was frozen, back in 2000 and I don't know. I also decided to do that overhaul so that maybe I could stop my father's whining about his wish to drive that boat once again. Constantly annoying me whenever we come across the boat. Boy, you have to fix that boat. Summertime almost over, and I want to go on a trip again. Gee, stop it, I built it for my sake. Here we go. I removed everything from the back and started from scratch. Even chose bigger wheels this time. Instead of two 24-inch ones, now I got 26-inch in the back. Like that one wheel in the front, which is also a 26-inch one. My new approach is to create a shaft that goes right through the boat body, which will be equipped with some sort of seal, because that axle should be later in touch with the water while floating. How do I make a shaft with a ceiling? Well, should have taken some nice finished axle like that one. Parts of a car shock absorber piston with a beautiful surface finish. Instead I took an ordinary water pipe, which isn't even really completely round nor straight. The outside finish is just rough. Well, I still took an ordinary water pipe because I had it in stock, and also cause it's the only way that I could make my own thread. Because my lathe can't cut a thread at all. So just one radial shaft sealing ring would be worn out rather quick, I assumed. So I decided two should do the trick. Furthermore, I built the one on the water side upright in its housing, because I wanted to create a pocket of grease. If there's already something filling up a contained space, water shouldn't be able to penetrate, right? Oh yeah, like that last time, all those bearings which touch the water are filled with special boat grease. Well, at least something to satisfy those fish and my conscience. Later, while putting that grease in that axle sealing chamber, I noticed a slight construction mistake. If I would use the grease nipple, I would probably destroy those axle sealings, because of the pressure of the grease. So I filled the grease in with the nipple only acting as a screw plug. Here, found myself some beautiful old grease gun for the job. There is another secret while I choose that 1-inch water pipe. It already got the perfect size so that you can simply insert it into any of those old single-speed bicycle back wheel hubs. The first time I discovered that coincidence was back in 2023 while building my snow roller vehicle. While building, I had some problems with that not straight shaft. So I tried a hardy disc, but then the whole axle would wobble in its main bearing and became unstable. So I simply fixed it rock solid again and ignored that slight axle wobble of the frame, holding that inner bearing. But why that complicated clamp pipe with the screw set? That's the question. That main bearing comes from a car wheel bearing unit. So it's a double bearing which needs to be compressed for it to function as intended. so it has to be squeezed in from both sides. The cool thing about that whole construction is that I can simply disassemble everything if needed, because everything is just screwed together. The most difficult task about that whole modification, you ask? That part right here. The chain pulley which needed to be relocated a few centimeters further forward, so that the chain can continue at a different angle. Come on, shut the crap already and show its performance. Alright, here I come. While driving, I noticed that occasionally the front wheel started to wobble around on its own while reaching certain speeds. So maybe that's due to the center of gravity, because in the front, right behind the wheel, there's the battery located. A 12-volt battery for the water propulsion unit. Recently I drove without a battery and couldn't achieve that same behavior. Just a slight unstable vibrating of the front wheel. Well, I guess the overall direction of all three wheels isn't that perfect. Anyway, it drives. That's all which matters for me. Back to the main topic. Jeez, so thrilled, already can see the lake. I am damn close. After that ride of about 5 kilometers, the wheels are even still attached to the boat. That's a promising sign.
Ja?
Noch schwimmt er ja nicht.
Das macht mir ja Angst, du.
Ach ja, fest.
Oh Gott,
Jetzt schwimmt er. Mensch, das kennst du ja nur.
das ist trotzdem gruselig.
Ach, die Räder, die Achse ist ja noch über Wasser noch.
Was?
Die ist ja noch über Wasser.
Echt?
Ja. Also machen wir einen Propeller an. So, Motor. Schiff Ahoi!
It floats, so cool. Oh yeah, I even improved the electric propulsion unit. Firstly, the new battery you already saw, and secondly, I finally achieved the switching of the electric motor's rotation movement. You see, I installed the motor backwards, so if I wanted to drive forward I had to use the reverse. But for reversing there are only 3 steps, while 5 steps forward. 3 is too little. I want full throttle if swimming forward. Tried some stuff, nothing did work. In the end I simply reversed the polarity right on the main battery terminals that go into the main switch. Now I can swim forward with speed number 5. Although the engine doesn't sound very happy about it. Now it's just perfect. Even if the rudder and motor is in the front of the vessel. I assume it's not very economical because of the boat body which travels the water current after it leaves the propeller blades in order to push it forward. But it proves that it's possible to build a boat like that nevertheless.
Volle Kraft voraus! Und jetzt volle Kraft zurück! Jetzt wieder Stopp.
So cool, going full power forward and reversing slightly less powerful. But I think it's obvious that the boat is much happier swimming backwards, because while doing so the push to water can exit after the water without any disturbing boat body parts. It just feels stronger that way. While doing that editing of the video, I feel ashamed that I forgot that this camera is waterproof and I should have submerged it at least once. But right that moment my brain was kind of overloaded.
Holst du? Oh, Blick auf Land, glaube ich. Ach so, dann kann ich ja nicht machen. Dann müsst ihr ja rückwärts fahren, wa? Das macht ja einen Propeller kaputt.
Well, I wasn't sure how to exit.
Ja.
Didn't want to wound the
kommen.
propeller,
Ja.
so I decided backwards would be the better option.
Treffe ich?
That lever? Oh, nothing special, just my parking brake. Comes from a wheelchair, if you are interested. I did it! I'm safe and sound on solid land again.
Ja, hier.
Oh no, what's this? There's water in the boat.
This
There has to
yeah,
be a
that's
leak
right,
somewhere.
Da, ja, hier und da.
Das habe ich ja zuletzt geschweißt. Der hat da jetzt vielleicht nicht so richtig
After
gepasst,
further
ja.
investigation, the leak is exactly under the back chain pulley set which I recently relocated. While welding that aluminum holding frame to the boat's body, I did burn in a tiny little hole, in size not much more than a needle. I simply apply some more sealing glue stuff to fix that. No problem. On that 5-kilometer long return journey, as well on the outward journey to the lake, I cheated a bit, being towed almost all the time by an electric scooter. Some unhappy noise. I guess I have to check that rear axle once I'm home again. The whole purpose of that test drive was to determine if there's a leak somewhere, as well to reveal that line of water, so that I'm able to build the pedal-powered prop accordingly to that. So what else needs to be improved? I definitely need a back view mirror for land as well as sea, stopping that leak near the welding seam, and most importantly that pedal-powered propeller, because I have to save some power for the planned research equipment too, which I also want to install, so that I'm able to hunt down some possible treasures. I mean, there has to be sunken bicycle somewhere, right? So that new pedal-powered propeller will have the same chain gear sprocket like the old one. But afterwards there will be some different right-angle gearbox. Maybe that one right here, which happens to be a worm gearbox. So with that ratio it could give me some decent propeller speeds. Like the rear axle, that axle will go to the boat body too. Well, won't take that propeller again though, that's for sure. I want to try some new designs in that case. So that's it. Till next time, which will be probably take some months, because I'm already distracted by new projects, like a Mad Max inspired vehicle. Just love that mount for the emergency pedal I came up with. Those holding brackets did the job well.